Remember the Toyota Land Cruiser? The legendary off-roader that's been around since 1958? Well, it's back. And this time, it's better than ever. The 2024 Toyota Land Cruiser is a return to the SUV's rugged roots, with a more affordable price tag and a focus on off-road capability. In today's video, we will talk about the 2024 Land Cruiser, which is still the same capable off-roader that you know and love. It's perfect for anyone who wants to go on backcountry adventures, from weekend warriors to families with active lifestyles. So let's get driving and see what this legendary SUV can do. This iconic off-roader is making a comeback after a 3-year hiatus, and it's more hybrid than ever before. The new Land Cruiser is powered by a hybrid powertrain that will make it more fuel efficient and environmentally friendly than its predecessors. But don't worry, it's still just as capable off-road. In fact, it's even more rugged than before. The 2024 Land Cruiser is also more affordable than previous models. This makes it a more practical choice for many people who love the Land Cruiser's off-road capabilities but don't need all the luxury features of the higher trim levels. Toyota couldn't have introduced the new Land Cruiser at a better time. With more and more automakers switching to hybrid and electric cars, the Land Cruiser is a breath of fresh air for those who still want a powerful and capable SUV. Before we continue exploring the amazing Land Cruiser, if you're interested in learning more about the 2024 Toyota Land Cruiser, be sure to subscribe and stay tuned until the end of the video. Going back to its original form, the Toyota Land Cruiser has a long and storied history as a popular SUV. Its proficiency, quality, longevity, and dependability are all well known across the globe. The 40 series was the first generation of Land Cruisers sold in the United States. These early models were compact and boxy, and they rode on solid axles and leaf springs. The first generation Land Cruiser was so well received that it went on to become Toyota's best-selling vehicle in the United States for 5 years in a row. Can you imagine? As customers demanded larger and more luxurious SUVs, the Land Cruiser evolved into the 55 and 60 series. These models were still capable off-roaders, but they were also more comfortable and luxurious. The Land Cruiser continued to grow in size and luxury until the 200 series, which was a full-size luxury SUV. The new Land Cruiser for 2023 is a return to the brand's roots. It is smaller and more capable off-road than the 200 series, and it features a more rugged design. The new Land Cruiser is built on the TNGA-F platform, which is a more rigid and durable platform than the previous platforms. The new Land Cruiser also features a new suspension system with double wishbone front suspension and multi-link rear suspension. This suspension system provides a smoother ride on-road and more off-road capability. The new Land Cruiser is available in 2 grades, the 1958 grade and the Land Cruiser grade. The 1958 grade features the iconic round LED headlights and Toyota Heritage grille, and the Land Cruiser grade slim, rectangular headlights, reminiscent of the FJ62. Both grades have a square body profile and a pushback A-pillar for better outward visibility. What if I told you there was an SUV that could handle any terrain, tow up to 6,000 pounds, and still be comfortable to drive on the highway? Well, the 2023 Land Cruiser is that SUV. A Land Cruiser that is within reasonable price range. Price points for the Toyota Land Cruiser have dropped to an all-time low. When compared to the old Land Cruiser starting price of $87,000, the new model starting price of $50,000 is a deal. Toyota focuses heavily on the success of the new Land Cruiser, and they have every right to do so. Production of the more affordable standard models is about to begin after selling out of the limited first edition. Toyota's new TNGA-F truck platform underpins the 2017 Land Cruiser, as it does the Tundra, Sequoia, and Tacoma. Because it's built on a cheaper platform than the previous Land Cruisers, it may be sold for less money. The new Toyota Land Cruiser only has room for 5 people, which is another way the company is trying to save money. Because of this, you may save a ton of money by not installing pricey climate control and other amenities in the third row. What type of Land Cruiser is it? The new Land Cruiser is a bit of a mystery to Land Cruiser aficionados. It's technically a 250 series, but it's not as big as the Lexus LX600. It's shorter than the LX, but it's wider than the old Land Cruiser. It's smaller than the current 4Runner, but it feels more spacious inside. So, what is it? Well, it is a bit of both. It's smaller than the old Land Cruiser, but it's still bigger than the 4Runner. It's got a narrower body, but it's also got a more spacious interior. It's like someone took a Land Cruiser and a 4Runner and smashed them together. The new Land Cruiser is also a bit of a looker. It's got a narrow body, a big grille, and prominent fender flares. It looks like it's been modded to give it a tough stance. So, what's the verdict? Well, it's hard to say for sure until we get more details, but based on what we know so far, it sounds like the new Land Cruiser is a great option for those who want a capable off-roader that's also comfortable and luxurious. It's not as big as the old Land Cruiser, but it's still bigger than the 4Runner, and it's got a more spacious interior than the 4Runner. Miniaturized hybrid engine, higher gas mileage. The new 2024 Land Cruiser is a real beast, but not the way you might think. It's not packing a big V8 engine like the old one. Instead, it has a hybrid 2.4-liter 4-cylinder engine that produces 326 horsepower and 465 pounds-feet of torque. That's not as much horsepower as the old V8, but the torque is much improved, which is what matters off-road. So, while the new Land Cruiser might not be as fast as the old one, it's still a capable off-roader. It's not just the engine that's new. The new Land Cruiser is also smaller and lighter than the old one. This makes it much more agile off-road, but it means that the towing capacity is limited to 6,000 pounds. Still, that's a respectable towing capacity for a mid-size SUV. But there's a catch. The hybrid battery that powers the new engine takes up a lot of space. So much space, in fact, that the third row of seats has been eliminated. That's right, the new Land Cruiser is now a strict 5-seater. But hey, at least you get a standard 2400-watt inverter and power delivery system. That's enough power to run a small appliance or even a power saw. So, is it a beast or a beanpole? Well, the new Land Cruiser is a bit of a mixed bag. It's more powerful and fuel efficient than the old model, but it's also smaller and less luxurious. It's also a 5-seater instead of a 7-seater, but if you're looking for a capable off-roader that can tow a trailer, the new Land Cruiser is a great option. Just don't expect to be able to haul your whole family with you. The new Land Cruiser is powered by familiar hardware. The 2024 Land Cruiser is a beast on wheels. It's got a 4-wheel drive system that's so good, it'll take you anywhere you want to go. The center differential automatically locks when you shift into low range, so you can power through even the toughest terrain. And if you need a little extra help, you can always lock the rear differentials too. But the Cruiser suspension is where it really shines. It's got a dual control arm independent front suspension and a solid rear axle that's located by 4 trailing links in a panhard rod. This setup gives the Cruiser a more smooth ride on the road, but it also makes it incredibly capable off-road. What does this mean for off-road enthusiasts? Well, it means that the new Land Cruiser is still a capable off-roader, but it's not as good as it used to be. If you're looking for a Land Cruiser that can tackle the toughest terrain, you might want to consider an older model with the KDSS system. The difference between the grades. Both the regular Land Cruiser and the special First Edition 2024 Land Cruiser are available. Those who only sometimes go off-road will benefit most from the base model, but those who plan to do so and want to save money for suspension and tire upgrades will also find the base model appealing. Since its tires are thinner and its anti-roll bars are fixed, it is less capable off-road than the other two models. But the round LED headlights with their throwback design are awesome. If you're looking for an even more capable off-roader, you'll definitely want to consider the Land Cruiser or First Edition models. These models feature 33-inch tires with enhanced tread for improved performance, a convenient disconnectable front anti-roll bar, and a multi-terrain select system that optimizes traction control for a wide range of conditions, in both high and low range. The Land Cruiser features stylish rectangular LED headlights, while the First Edition boasts charming round ones. The First Edition also comes with rock rails, a roof rack, a front skid plate, and much more. Are you ready for an adventure? The 2024 Toyota Land Cruiser is the perfect vehicle for those who want to go anywhere and do anything with its powerful hybrid engine, rugged suspension, and advanced 4-wheel drive system. The Land Cruiser is ready to take on any challenge. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for more interesting upcoming videos.